Help me reach 3,000 subscribers. Support the video with a like. And leave your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. Thank you. It started with the laptop. Sarah had this way of closing it whenever I walked into the room. Not a slam, just a smooth, practiced flick of the wrist, like she was swiping a notification off her phone. We'd been married 8 years, together since our mid-20s, so I knew her habits. This wasn't one of them. I'd come in from the garage, hands gritty from messing with my F-150's carburetor, and there she'd be at the kitchen table, clicking that screen shut before I could even say hi. First time, I shrugged it off. Second time, I noticed. By the fifth, it was like a splinter I couldn't ignore. One night, I'd had enough. I leaned against the counter, popping the cap off a Bud Light, watching her type away. "What's so classified you gotta hide it every time I walk in?" I asked, keeping my tone light but sharp. Sarah didn't look up, just gave me that tight smile she'd perfected, the one that said you're making this bigger than it is. "Work stuff, Tony. Reports, spreadsheets, boring crap. You wouldn't care?" "Wouldn't care." I set the beer down, stepping closer. "I'm your husband, not some stranger off the street. What's with the secret agent routine?" She sighed, long and dramatic, like I was exhausting her. "It's just work, okay? We're in the middle of a rebrand, and I'm buried in deadlines. Can you not make this a thing?" "A thing?" I leaned on the counter, locking eyes with her. "You're closing your laptop like it's got state secrets, and I'm not supposed to notice? That's not work, Sarah. That's you hiding something." She finally looked up, her eyes narrowing. "Hiding? Wow, Tony, paranoid much? It's just emails. You want to read my inbox? Be my guest." "Don't play that game," I said, pointing at her. "You know I'm not going to snoop. I'm asking you straight. What's so important you can't leave your screen up for 2 seconds?" She laughed, short and sharp. "You're unbelievable. It's work. You wouldn't get it. You're out there fixing trucks. I'm dealing with actual corporate strategy." "Oh, corporate strategy," I said, nodding slow. "Fancy. So fancy you can't trust your own husband to see it? That's a hell of a flex, Sarah." She slammed the laptop shut, harder than usual. "You're turning this into a fight for no reason." "I'm busy, Tony. I don't have time for your conspiracy theories." "Busy?" I said, holding her gaze. "That's your go-to, huh? You're busy, but not too busy to treat me like I'm the hired help. I'm not buying it." "Then don't," she snapped, grabbing her laptop and standing. "I'm not here to entertain you. I've got work to do." She brushed past me, heading for the stairs. "Yeah, run away," I called after her. "Real good at that, aren't you? Keep hiding, Sarah. I'm watching." She didn't answer, just stomped upstairs, leaving me with the hum of the fridge and a bad taste in my mouth. I grabbed my beer and headed to the living room, flipping on the Steelers game, but I wasn't watching. That wasn't work stress. That was her drawing a line, and I was on the wrong side of it. If I'd known then how far she'd take this, I'd have started packing her bags that night. But I didn't. I thought it was a phase, her job, her stress, whatever. I told myself to give her space, let her figure it out. Biggest mistake I ever made. Her birthday was the next big red flag. Sarah was turning 34, and I wanted to make it special. We had this spot, the Bean Counter, a little coffee shop downtown where we used to spend hours back when we were dating. Cracked leather booths, black coffee that could wake the dead, and these tiramisu cups she'd devour like they were her last meal. I figured it'd be a chance to hit reset, remind us what we used to have. I went all in, bought her a necklace, a silver chain with a coffee bean pendant, nothing crazy but thoughtful. Wrapped it myself, picked up her favorite tiramisu, even grabbed a dumb helium balloon because I knew she'd laugh at it. I texted her that morning. "Meet me at the Bean Counter at 6? Got a surprise for you." No reply for hours. I was at the site, dealing with a subcontractor who'd botched a concrete pour. When my phone finally buzzed. "Sarah, sorry, out with the girls tonight. Can we do it later?" "No, happy birthday to me." "No, I'd love to, but I'm stuck. Just sorry and later." I stared at the text, the balloon bobbing in my truck like it was mocking me. The girls, always the girls. Her work friends, her yoga crew, her networking buddies. Lisa from HR, Megan the graphic designer, some chick named Laura who I'd met once and didn't like. They were her world now, and I was just the guy paying the bills. I called her, right there in the cab of my truck, the noise of the site humming in the background. "Hey," I said when she picked up, "you serious about tonight? I've got a whole thing planned." Her voice was casual, like she was ordering coffee. Yeah, Tony, I'm with the girls. It's my birthday, you know? I just need a night out. Your birthday, I said, gripping the wheel. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm sitting here with a gift and a plan to take you to our spot. You're telling me you'd rather drink with Lisa and Megan than spend it with me? She sighed, that put-upon sound she used to make me feel needy. Don't make this a big deal. It's just drinks. We'll do something tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow, I repeated, my voice flat. You're blowing off our place, our thing, for drinks with your work buddies. That's the choice you're making. God, Tony, you're so dramatic, she said, and I could hear voices in the background, laughter, clinking glasses. I'm allowed to have fun. I'll see you later. She hung up before I could respond. I sat there, staring at my phone, the construction site buzzing around me. I texted her, "You sure about this? I'm at the bean counter at 6. Your call." No reply. I went anyway, sat in our old booth, the gift bag on the table, the tiramisu sweating in its container. The balloon floated above me, a bright red reminder of how stupid I felt. Couples came and went, laughing, sharing desserts. I felt like a ghost. A waiter, a kid named Josh with a patchy beard, stopped by. "You waiting for someone, man?" he asked, wiping down the table next to me. "Yeah," I said, tapping the gift bag. "Supposed to be my wife. She's out with her friends instead." He winced, like he'd been there. "That's rough. You want me to box up the dessert or something?" "Nah," I said, pushing the tiramisu toward him. "Take it. I'm not in the mood." He hesitated, then took the container. "Sorry, man. Hope she shows up." "She won't," I said, grabbing the bag and the balloon. "Her loss." I drove home, tossed the necklace in a drawer, and popped open another beer. The balloon deflated in the corner, just like my patience. I wasn't hurt, not yet. I was pissed. Sarah wasn't just busy. She was choosing to push me out, and I was done pretending it was okay. A week later, things got uglier at Murphy's Bar. I was there with Mike, my buddy from the crew. He's a big guy, ex-Marine, doesn't talk much but sees everything. We were shooting pool, nursing beers, when Lisa, Sarah's HR friend, walked in. She's all smiles, like she's auditioning for a toothpaste ad, but there's always something calculated behind it. She spotted us, waved, and came over, her heels clicking on the sticky floor. "Tony, didn't expect you here," she said, leaning against the pool table, her scarf brushing the felt. "Where's Sarah?" "She's usually out with us." I chalked my cue, keeping it casual. "Good question. She's been busy lately. You tell me where she is." Lisa laughed, but it was nervous, like she'd stepped in something. "Oh, you know her. Always running around for work. She's killing it with this rebrand." "Yeah, killing it," I said, lining up my shot. "So busy she can't make time for her husband. You guys keeping her out all night, or what?" Mike snorted, sipping his beer, but stayed quiet. Lisa's smile faltered, but she rallied. "Come on, Tony, it's not like that. She's just swamped. We all are. You should see the deadlines we're juggling." "Deadlines," I said, sinking the 8-ball. "Funny, she's got time for happy hours with you and Megan, but I'm eating dinner alone. Doesn't add up, Lisa." She tugged at her scarf, glancing at Mike like he might bail her out. "She's under a lot of pressure, Tony. You know how it is. She's trying to balance everything." "Balance," I said, setting the cue down. "That's a nice word for it. Here's another one, priorities. She's got just not with me. You know anything about that?" Lisa's eyes darted away, and that's when she slipped. "Look, she's been stressed, okay? She was out with us last night at the Rusty Anchor, and she seemed fine. Maybe you guys just need to talk." Mike finally spoke, his voice low and dry. "Fine, huh? Saw her there too. Laughing it up with some suit from her office. Didn't look too stressed to me." I turned to him, keeping my face neutral. "Good to know. Anyone I'd recognize?" Mike shrugged, taking another sip. Didn't get his name. But they were cozy. Corner booth, her hand on his arm. "You do the math." Lisa's face went red. "That's not. Tony, it's not what you think. She's just networking. You're twisting this." "Twisting," I said, stepping closer to her. "I'm asking simple questions, Lisa. You're the one sweating. If it's all so innocent, why is Sarah dodging me? Why she got you covering for her?" "I'm not covering," she said, her voice too high. "I'm just saying, talk to her. Don't make assumptions." "I'm not assuming," I said, holding her gaze. "I'm seeing. And what I see is my wife acting like I don't exist. You tell her I said hi." Lisa mumbled something about needing a drink and bolted for the bar. Mike watched her go, then looked at me. She's full of it. Sarah's playing games, man. Yeah, I said, grabbing my beer. And I'm done being her pawn. The company barbecue was the next nail in the coffin. Sarah's marketing firm threw these summer shindigs. Catered burgers, open bar, everyone pretending they're one big happy family. I usually skip them, but Sarah insisted I come this time. It's important for appearances, she said, like I was her prop. I went, mostly to see what she was like around her people. Bad call. The event was at a park, picnic tables under a pavilion, country music blaring from a Bluetooth speaker. Sarah was in her element, flitting between groups, laughing too loud, touching people's arms like she was running for mayor. I stood by the grill, talking to Dave, one of her co-workers who seemed solid. He was telling me about some new project management software when Sarah swooped in, a hard seltzer in her hand, her smile dialed up to 11. Tony, you're not boring Dave with your construction stories, are you? She said, her tone teasing but with an edge, like she was scolding me in front of the class. I took a sip of my beer, kept my cool. Nah, just talking shop. You know, actual work. Not whatever you're doing over there, playing prom queen. Her smile froze, but she laughed it off, turning to Dave. See what I deal with? He's always so serious. Thinks he's the only one who works hard. Dave chuckled, awkward, like he didn't know whose side to take. Hey, construction's no joke. You guys are building the city. Yeah, someone's gotta, I said, looking right at Sarah. While you're out here networking, I'm keeping the lights on. Her eyes narrowed, but she kept the smile, like she was performing for the crowd. Oh, come on, Tony. Don't be like that. You'd rather be under your truck than talk to people, right? The jab landed, and she knew it. A few people nearby laughed, and I felt the heat creep up my neck. Funny, I said, stepping closer. I'd rather be under my truck than play fake with your work buddies. At least the truck doesn't pretend to be something it's not. Dave coughed, looking at his shoes. I'm gonna grab another burger, he said, backing away. You guys good? We're great, Sarah said, her voice sugary but her eyes cold. Tony's just in one of his moods. Moods, I said, not breaking eye contact. That's what you call it when I notice you treating me like a prop? You invited me here, Sarah. If you wanted a puppet, you should have said so. She laughed, loud enough to draw eyes. God, you're so dramatic. Maybe if you lightened up, you'd have some fun. Fun, I said, setting my beard down. Like you're having? Flirting with every suit in a 10-foot radius? Real classy, Sarah. Dave was still hovering, trying to play peacemaker. Hey, let's all chill, okay? It's a party. Yeah, Dave, I said, not looking at him. A party, where my wife thinks it's cute to take shots at me in front of her friends. I'm done here. I walked off, leaving Sarah standing there, her smile slipping. I didn't look back. The drive home was quiet, just me and the hum of the truck's engine. She wasn't just pulling away. She was trying to make me feel small, like I didn't belong in her shiny new world. I wasn't playing that game anymore. The final straw came a week later. I dropped my laptop off at Tom's place. He's Jen's husband, Sarah's sister. Tom's a tech wizard, fixes everything from phones to servers in his garage. My laptop had been crashing every time I tried to open my work files. I told him no rush, but he texted me late one night. Fixed it. Swing by whenever. It was a Thursday, pushing 2:45 a.m. when I pulled up to their place. Construction management means weird hours, and I'd just wrapped a late meeting with a client. Tom was in his garage, tinkering under a fluorescent light, coffee in a plastic cup. I parked, grabbed my own gas station coffee, and we started chatting. Your machine's good to go? Tom said, wiping his hands on a rag. Clean install, malware's gone. You owe me $50 and a beer. Done, I said, sipping the lukewarm coffee. Appreciate you staying up for this. No sweat, he said, grinning. Gotta keep you in business. Jen stepped out onto the porch, robe on, hair a mess, yawning. Tony, what are you doing here at this hour? Picking up the laptop, I said. Tom's saving my ass, as usual. She smiled, leaning against the railing. He's good for something. That's when my phone buzzed. Sarah, I answered, keeping it casual. Hey, what's up? Her voice was low, like she was half asleep. Just checking in. I'm at Jen's. Don't wait up. I'll be home in the morning. I froze. Jen was standing 10 feet away, her head tilted, like she'd heard something off. Tom paused, his coffee halfway to his mouth. Say that again, I said, my voice steady but ice cold. I'm at Jen's, Sarah repeated, sharper now, like I was annoying her. I'll see you tomorrow. Jen stepped down from the porch, her bare feet hitting the gravel. She just said she's at my place? She whispered, loud enough for Tom to hear. I hung up. No goodbye, no argument. Jen's eyes were wide. Tony, I haven't seen Sarah in 2 weeks. She hasn't been here. Tom set his cup down, slow and deliberate. She's lying, man. I'd know if she was here. Kids would have been up. House would be a mess. You sure? I asked, already knowing the answer. Positive, Jen said, crossing her arms. I don't know what she's playing at, but she's not here. Tom nodded. You need me to back you up? I will. Anytime, anywhere. I nodded, my jaw tight. Thanks. I'll handle it. Jen shook her head, her voice low. This isn't right, Tony. She's got no business pulling this. No, I said, staring at the ground. She doesn't. I drove home, the laptop on the passenger seat, my coffee forgotten. By the time I pulled into the driveway, I'd made my decision. Sarah's stuff, her clothes, her shoes, her endless skincare bottles, was going in boxes. I wasn't waiting for an explanation. I was done. She came home at 7 a.m., hoodie up, keys jangling like nothing had happened. I was in the hallway, leaning against the door frame, arms crossed. The box with her stuff was by the door, her house keys already in my pocket. I'd called a cab 10 minutes earlier. She didn't notice me at first, just kicked off her sneakers and muttered about being exhausted. Then she saw me. Her face shifted, a flicker of something. Guilt, maybe, or just surprise. Rough night at Jen's? I asked, my voice flat as pavement. She froze, then tossed her hair back, going for casual. God, yeah. Total chaos. Kids screaming, Tom up, all night working. I barely got any sleep. I didn't move. Just watched her. That's funny. Because I was at Jen's last night, picking up my laptop. You know, the one Tom fixed? Jen was there too, in her pajamas, standing on the porch. She heard you say you were at her place. Sarah's face went gray, like someone had sucked the color out of her. She opened her mouth, closed it, then tried again. Tony, wait. I got mixed up. I meant to go to Jen's, but I ended up at Laura's. I didn't want to tell you because you don't like her, and I thought you'd get mad. Laura, I said, nodding like I was buying it. So you lied to my face because you thought I'd lose it? You didn't just mix up Jen's house with Laura's. You sold me a story, Sarah, and you thought I was too dumb to check. She sank onto the stairs, her hands shaking. It's not what you think. I swear, Tony, it was a stupid mistake. I was tired, I wasn't thinking. Stop. I cut her off, stepping forward. You don't get to play the tired card again. You lied. You knew exactly what you were doing. You thought I wouldn't find out, and you bet wrong. Her eyes welled up, the tears she always pulled when she was cornered. Tony, please. It was one night. You're gonna throw away 8 years over this. I walked to the closet, grabbed the box I'd packed, and set it by the door. This isn't about one night. It's about you thinking you can play me. You've been dodging me, lying to me, treating me like I'm invisible. I'm done, Sarah. She stood, grabbing my arm. You're serious? You're kicking me out because I messed up once. We can fix this, Tony. Just talk to me. I pulled my arm free, slow and deliberate. Fix what? Your habit of treating me like a doormat? You don't respect me. You haven't for a long time. And I'm not here to beg for it. She tried a new angle, her voice soft and pleading. I was stressed, okay? Work's been crazy, and I just needed a break. I didn't mean to hurt you. Hurt me? I said, almost laughing. This isn't about my feelings. It's about you thinking you can lie to my face and skate. You chose to ditch me, to hide, to play your little games. That's on you. She switched tactics again, her voice hardening. So that's it. You're just done? You're gonna throw me out like trash. You threw us out, I said, pointing at the box. Your stuff's packed. Cab's outside. I've got your keys. Go to Jen's. Tell her how crazy her house was last night. I'm sure she'll love the story. She stared at me, tears streaming now, but I saw the calculation behind them. You're making a mistake, Tony. You're gonna regret this. Nah, I said, opening the door. The only mistake I made was thinking you'd ever own up to anything. Get out. She grabbed the box, still muttering, still crying, but I was done. The cab was waiting, engine idling. I watched her walk out, the door clicking shut behind her. That same day, I called a locksmith. New deadbolt, new keys. By noon, I'd talked to a lawyer, started the divorce papers. The house, the cars, the savings, they were in my name, thanks to some smart moves I'd made years ago. Sarah had nothing to leverage, and she knew it. Jen called me that afternoon. She showed up here, bawling, she said. Tried to tell me she meant to come to my place, but got confused. I told her to cut the crap. She's crashing with Laura now. Thanks for the heads up, I said. And for last night. Anytime, Jen said. You don't deserve this, Tony. Nobody does, I said, and hung up. Tom texted later. You good? Beer soon. I told him I was fine, but I'd take him up on that beer. Mike swung by that evening with a pizza, didn't ask for details, just sat with me while we watched the game. The kind of support you don't have to explain. A week later, the papers were with a notary. Sarah tried calling, texting, even showed up once, but I didn't open the door. Her mom called too, but even she didn't push hard. She knew Sarah had crossed a line. Nobody backed her up. Not Jen, not Tom, not her work friends. She'd burned too many bridges. It's been 3 months now. I'm still in the house, still driving the same truck, still working the same job. Life's quieter, cleaner. I don't check my phone every hour, wondering where she is. I don't brace for the next lie or jab. I'm not angry anymore, just clear. Last week, I saw Sarah at the grocery store, in the cereal aisle, looking tired, her hair in a messy bun. She saw me, started to say something, but I just nodded and kept walking. Didn't need to hear it. Didn't want to.